Good afternoon, and welcome to Straight Talking with Kelly, where real conversations happen. This is where you will meet the most talented, intelligent, and creative people who come to share tips, resources, and knowledge on various topics. My guests come from many industries that include education, music, health and wellness, fashion, culinary arts, mental health, community advocates, and so much more. Today, I'd like for you to join me in welcoming my guest, Kim Evans. She's a speaker, a beauty consultant, a podcaster, a biz success and lifestyle wellness coach. And she's also my business coach. Cannot wait to get into that conversation and let you guys know how she's helped me. But before we get to talking about the importance of having a business coach and our podcast relationship, I'd like to give you guys a little bit about her background. Kim works with women solo entrepreneurs. She helps them take their divine gifts from the marketplace to the bank scale, leverage and grow their business, achieve better optimal health while looking sexy, fabulous in the process. Welcome, Miss Kim Evans.
Kelly, thank you so much. It is always a pleasure to be in your presence. And Happy New Year. And Happy
Thank
New
you.
Year to the audience.
Thank you. Thank you. So, Kim and I have come full circle. You were my first podcast guest in 2021, and now here you are again as my first podcast guest in 2022. I've invited you back to update the audience on my journey as a podcaster. It was you that suggested years ago that I get into this. Do you remember that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
And why do you say it like that? There's a reason behind that.
You know, I guess one of my superpowers that God has given me in terms of rain making is rain connecting. And I never want to leave any unstoned gifts on the planet. I believe that every gift that comes from above, and I think that you need to share that with the world as much as possible. And sometimes we need a little push, we need a little mentoring, we need a little coaching, we need a little inspiration behind that to say, I see you and you have something here. Don't waste it. Share it.
Yeah. And
And
that's exactly what you did with me. You were just like, Kelly, I didn't even know what a podcast was. I'm like, what is she talking about?
yes.
And then what made it work is that you said, you know what, I'm going to have you as my first guest in 2021 on your show. And when I did your show, I said, oh, so this is she's right. I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
But then what I didn't realize, all the things that it entailed to be a podcaster,
Right.
the behind the scenes stuff and the prepping and the this and the that. And I was like, oh, I don't know about this. But you stood there with me. You guided me through the whole thing, the check-ins, the weekly phone calls, and I could not have done it without that. I can tell you that right now.
Amen.
And so as a business coach, I just enjoyed the flow of all of our conversations. You would point out things that I needed to work on, things I need to be aware of. So Kim, you have been coaching entrepreneurs for several years. Um, can you tell us why business coaching is so essential?
Well, for me, I've been in business for 25 years. I'm a licensed esthetician by trade, and a professional makeup artist is where I started. My brand name of my business is Too Gorgeous Wellness. And so back in the day, 25 years back in 1996, we had this thing called e-zines. And in order for you to really stay in front of your clients back then, you actually really needed to kind of like either have an electronic newsletter or put yourself or keep yourself in front of your clients, because how else were you actually going to keep them coming back in addition to offering amazing service? So I began to learn business skills that I implemented in my business long, long, long time ago. And one skill led to the next, what led to the next, what led to the next. So because I've been doing it for such a long time, and now hence we have the digital age, and now we're moving into 2022. We had the COVID, a lot of service industry companies had to pivot. And it's like, wow, I'm versed to it. I'm used to it. It comes with grace and ease, a lot of it. And so for me to share business strategy with other brick and mortar business owners is just almost second nature to me. Where I have gained a little bit more leverage is because now I'm doing more digital coaching, online coaching, like to women as such as yourself. So it's essential in multiple facets, Kelly. It keeps your business sustainable. As you can see from my experience of 25 years, it keeps you relevant. It keeps you moving focus forward, and it keeps your brand aware. It kind of like expands your brand awareness and the presence in social media. So it kind of fulfills all those levels. And where I have now ventured and carved an additional niche is on online entrepreneur businesswomen. So you see someone like yourself who is an educator, and you have so many multifaceted gifts. And now with the shifting too from COVID of last year, where we're going right now, and you as an educator, why not take those skill sets, your experience that you've had with students and other experiences that you've had and the people that you have met, and why not take all that and now let's leverage it. Now, how can we leverage it? How can we package it? How can we scale it? And how can we bring it to the marketplace? And so that's where I could come in and kind of share with other women those kinds of gifts. And so I do take people's gifts from the marketplace to the bank. And as we did, we started your podcast show last year. And my God, Kelly, it is amazing. It is amazing. And it just needed some clarity. You just needed some vision. You needed some guidance, which we were able to do in our year of coaching last year. So it's very essential. Coaching is very essential.
Well, you know what? That's so funny that you just said the vision and clarity, because that's one of the things that I remember really how you helped me with clarifying the vision and how my show fits in with other career goals. And so, and that's what I value most with the weekly calls in, because there is a tie-in with everything else that I do. And now I do have people calling me, asking me, can they be on my show? And I'm like, what? So it's
that. We talked about that. I said, Kelly, watch. You're going to do enough shows. You're going to have enough scalability, enough leverage to where people are going to be calling you to ask you to be on your show. And that's fantastic.
It blew me away. Blew me away. Because I was not expecting that. So it's like, and there's still so many amazing people out there that I definitely want to interview.
And we're just now getting started. Last year was just your warm up.
Exactly. And I did 25. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something. You had told me, Kelly, get to 25. And so that was my goal. Through everything else that was going on, I still was determined I'm going to get my 25 before the year is out. And I was so pleased that I did. And now just moving forward, when I think about some of the other guests that I have. So let's get back to the conversation of uh, why coaching is essential. So Kim, if the lack of vision, ambiguity, and uncertainty make it hard for a business person to move forward, what tools, support, and guidance do you offer? So just think about what you did to me.
Right. So one is what I found what was lacking in the marketplace when it came to a lot of coaches is that I experienced them to be cookie cutter. I experienced them to be, they have programs and they want to put you in programs without looking at your individuality. It's kind of sort of like taking a coach and he's coaching a team of track ladies, students, women. All of them are not going to meet or going to have the same high level of performance, but the main aim is for them to win. So he's going to coach each one of those girls individually and to bring out their own individual gift and talent. Some may be more high-end achievers, some might be lower achievers, but a great athletic coach would look at the divine gift within each one of those students and help to bring that gifts out. So it's the same thing as an executive business coach. And so I think what makes my coaching space a lot different is like, I looked at you, I knew your professionalism. We had worked together, me coming to guest speak as, numerous years with your students, your background. But then I also saw your frailty too. And I saw where your capacity was. So I think an excellent business coach is being able to see where's the capacity level of a person and to be able to elevate and to expand it. But you have to do it very carefully, strategically, and mindfully. And we were able to do that because I didn't want to push you so much to where that you would stop podcasting or that you were so overwhelmed. So with my knowledge that I had already have coming to the table with you, I helped to take all your overwhelm out. And so we just looked at where you were to nurture you to your next step and what your ultimate vision was. And with that, I was able to mindfully put together strategically a plan for you. So that's what makes my coaching different. And I think that's what makes a damn good executive coach is that you're not coaching everybody the same. Everybody doesn't have the same outcome. They don't want to go the same level. You have to meet them where they are, but then push them forward. Meet them where they are, but then push them forward. And that's what we were able to do with you very consistently every week.
Now I remember you suggesting that I put best practice business systems before starting. And at first, I was in overwhelm with all that goes on in creating the podcast, not
Right.
just the expense, but all the time that is involved. The audience doesn't see that. All they see is the finished product that looks and sounds good. You
Exactly.
provided me with strategies and action steps that helped me grow my podcast business. And again, the weekly check ins were the bonus. Uh, this is where I could share where I needed help and felt confident in doing so with you. And there's still things that I know that I have ignored that you've actually asked me to do.
Well, it's not so much ignoring. Sometimes it has to be where you're ready. It may also have to be where you are in your understanding of it. And it's like, okay, we're going to park it right there, but we're going to pick that back up because that's part of the formula. It's like making that beautiful, excellent cake recipe. You need the butter, you need the flour, you need the salt and the sugar, but you forgot the vanilla. And so the cake is not going to taste the same without the vanilla, but maybe, okay. So it's kind of sort of, we have all the ingredients, but I got to work with you at certain levels where you are. But we're going to have all those ingredients at some point. We're going to have all the ingredients.
Well, see, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. This is that kind of coaching that makes sense to me. And so my next question was like, Kim, what has it been like coaching me? And what would you say my strengths are? And where do I need to grow? And you just said, see, that's what I'm saying. You are ahead of the game. You already know,
Yes.
where my strengths are and where I definitely need to
And
grow. So
that's important when people out here, women out here, when you are deciding who you want to mentor with, who you want to coach with, and who you want to co-create your vision with. Because I'm not doing the work for Kelly, I'm just guiding her. And I'm just sharing her different kinds of pathways that she can take, and then the main highway she needs to be on. And so that's really important in order to make the mindset shift. And I think also more importantly, we can hit on this is just mindset. I think a good executive coach keeps you at that level of high-end mindset. And Kelly, you would come down sometimes, it's like, no, but I'm going to bring you back up. But I'm going to bring you back up with love. But no, this is where we need to hone in. If we're not holding in, then you can't hit this next goal. And one of the things was consistency. I said, no matter how much you want to put a time, where it's an hour every week or 2 hours, or you want to do one podcast a week, or you want to do 2 podcasts a month, figure it out, be consistent. And we just need to be consistent, because the flip side is technology, is the algorithms. In podcast land, when you look at Audible, Spotify, when you look at iTunes, the people who stay at the top and consistent with the algorithm game are the people who do consistent podcasting. So that doesn't mean you have to do 100 a month. It just means that whatever you choose at that level, just be consistent with it. And my job was to help you stay on track to be consistent. And at the end, to hit that magic number. And look, we did. And now Spotify, iTunes, Podbean, Google. And so it keeps you at the surface. So when they look at you, it's like, okay, we see Kelly's show. She's still here. She hasn't gone anywhere. So let's keep her up at the top. And it doesn't make a difference of the viewers and the number of followers. That's not what that's about. We're building brand, strategy, and consistency. The followers are going to come. Doesn't work. That doesn't matter. And now you're on YouTube.
Well, girl, you know what the funny thing is? I was looking for something on Amazon and my podcast popped up. I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. So you
Yeah.
did tell me that, and you're right. I don't pay attention to how many likes I get or how many followers I have. I'm just really wanting to bring
Yeah.
quality clients that I interview with quality subjects. And that's what really matters to me because there's a lot of people out there that really need to be seen and heard. So I'm just glad that I have the platform to do that. And that's what's really important to me right now.
And the technology behind it. And when you work with somebody who understands technology like I do and systems, again, I help to take the overwhelm out. So I just think it's just really important. I actually recommend people to do one-on-one coaching. You can see the benefit that it has helped you. You have a choice. You can also do group coaching. I have a group coaching program on how to do podcasting, but it's so way better if I'm taking you one-on-one because we could get there a hell of a lot faster
Yes,
than you,
indeed.
than you
Indeed.
listening to a 4-week podcast program.
Listen to this. There are folks out there that believe business coaching does not work. Here are
Mm.
some of the reasons I've heard. They feel that they give you the how, but not the tools to make it happen.
Right.
Or they think the business coach is afraid to bring their clients together because they don't want them to mix and mingle if someone is not happy. You have a Facebook group for your clients, so I know that's not your issue. From my own experience, I believe that business coaching will not work unless you do your part of the bargain. So, what do you have to say about all of this, Kim?
Well, a lot of that is true. And this is why you have to be very wise when you're selecting a coach to mentor and to walk you through where you're trying to get to. Because you will have people that will tell you, okay, this is what you need to do, but they really don't tell you why you need to do it, or they don't tell you how to do it. They don't set it up in terms of the systems in the background. Whereas me and Kelly, we went through the systems. I already knew the systems, but I shared the systems with her. And I just said this, and you have a lot of coaches, they're not willing to share the systems. Well, if they're not, then if you are not having all the pieces to what you need to get you to your end result, then that's not a good coach for you. It's just very simple. It's just very, very simple. It's like personal training. You set, I mean, I've gone through several personal trainers and I do highly believe in fitness training. Is that you go there, you become so codependent, independent on them to tell you on how to do bench press, and then you're afraid to go in the gym to do it yourself. No, a good coach or a fitness trainer is going to tell you about each of the different training weights, the mechanics of it, how to properly get engaged when you are lifting those weights so that you feel comfortable when you go in the gym by yourself. We took Kelly from point A to point B. You know how to upload, you know how to download, you know how to slice, you know how to take your podcast. And I told Kelly, I said, this is how you're going to actually stay even ahead of the curve. We're going to make your podcast not only audible so people can hear you, if they're jogging, if they're exercising in their car, we're going to make it visual so they can see you. Most podcasters do not make their podcast visible and audio. You have a double bang. And I knew at some point in time you were going to grow to that, but I met you at the very beginning. It's like, no, we're going to learn it all. We're going to learn it all. And then you could decide which way that you want to go. And I think that's the difference when you're dealing with a coach that really comes from passion and heart, that no, I want to give you the tools and I want to give you the skill set so that you can be able to be what? Successful in the area
Yes.
that you want. And if you
Yeah.
can't be successful, I have no fear of you getting a million shows. That was the goal that you said you want to be the Oprah podcast. And Kelly gonna be the Oprah podcast. That ain't my goal. But my goal is to help her to get there. And that's fine. So when you're executive coaching, there's no competition. God gives everybody gifts. We all got enough gifts. My gift is to help her to reach her next epitome in her lifetime.
And you know what? And I think that's what the audience needs to know about you. You guys, I'm going to tell you something. The whole while I was going through my podcasting journey, I watched her. So it's so wonderful. And this is key in any industry is to make sure that you find somebody that you admire and that you want to be like. And then you follow the things that you like about them, incorporate that into your life. And I'm watching Kim not only post her podcast, she's promoting other women. She does so much. So she's very sincere about helping other women reach that level. So it's not even just about her. It's more about how can I take this person and get them to where they want to go. So I love that about her selflessness, that she really, really does focus on you, the individual. Like I said, I don't know how she would have the time consistently to keep reaching out to me. Kelly, how's it going? And there were times when I was like, you know what, Kim, I don't know if I can do another one. And she goes, just keep that goal in mind. You got 25. That's not a lot. Figure out how you can do that. If it's one a month, if it's one, however, don't stress. And so I was not only able to do that, but then I kept watching her podcast and I was like, God, I want to be like her. Because Kim posts, I don't, you're, I don't even know how many numbers she would post, but like every time I'm turned around, I'm getting Kim uploaded a podcast. Kim has this podcast, and Kim is here, Kim is there, with amazing guests. And then not only is she uploading and doing her own podcast show, she has the time where she comes in just to talk to people. And I haven't done that yet. I haven't gone live just to have a conversation with people to let them know what's on my mind and some of the things that I've experienced and some of the things that I have done. I have not done that yet, but I watch you and I see how good you are at doing that, that at some point I know that I'll be able to do that as well.
Well, thank you, Kelly. And that's your next level of success. Because I mentioned your 2021 was your warm up. You get started.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
now we're getting ready to hit almost February, Black History Month. You're going to just blow up in that month. It's an excellent, juicy month. And we got the top of the year now in January. You starting it off here as we started it off here, the same place last year. And look how
Exactly.
far you've gone.
Exactly.
But I just have to say that how excited were you when you did your 25th show?
Oh, how excited. I don't know. You know what? I actually created a video that highlights every single one of the podcasts that I did because I wanted folks to see I did 25.
Uh-huh, I saw that. I saw
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And it's
I'm glad you were able to model
yeah,
that.
absolutely. Well, you know what the funny thing is that the guests that I interviewed, when they saw it, oh, they lit up. They were just like, because they were highlighted again. So yeah, no, it's a beautiful thing. And I will actually, even though I do have this new year, new guests coming, I still will be highlighting some of the videos that I've done last year because some of them are absolutely, matter of fact, not some of them, all of them are absolutely amazing. Every single one. It's kind of like, I sew, right? And so when I was making baby clothes, I used to have a baby clothes business. Every single blanket that I would make, I'd go, oh my God, this is my favorite blanket. To the point where that's where I had to end up naming the company because
Wow,
every single blanket was my favorite. And that's how I feel about every interview that I've done with my podcast.
absolutely. I see for you just a magnificent, great things. And I think even this year, things are going to come together. One of the things I always share with Kelly is that you go back and you review, you evaluate, and then you know what to do on your next one. And oftentimes, I've noticed people don't like to see themselves on TV or they don't have to like to hear themselves. No, that's a part of your whole growth. So whenever you are producing, and this is just a word of advice, whenever you are producing a podcast, you need to go back and reread it or re-listen to it and revisit and take notes because that's how you get better. And those are some of the things that me and Kelly would do. We would talk about it. I'd watch so many of them and I would go back and I would make suggestions, not with constructive criticism in terms of what she did wrong, but things highlighted that she did really good. And then next time, maybe we can focus here. Okay, maybe we can try this here. And then that was also very helpful. And that kept you engaged. It kept you uplifted. And it kept you knowing, you know what, I can do this. And my next one is going to be better. And that's what we do as coaches. We want you to always feel that you can be better, better, better to your next level of excellence. Not perfection, but better.
I'm going to tell you something, audience. If anyone is out there in need of wanting to get to that next level, you got to reach out to Kim, because this is a gym. This is a gym. And I'm not just saying that because she's helped me, but it makes sense that I do say it because she helped me. Because, like I said, there is no way on earth I would be doing podcasting right now. And remember, I didn't even know what a podcast was.
You know what it was. She didn't
No,
know.
I'm telling you, I kept saying, "What are you talk? What is a podcast?" And she says, "You're gonna be on my show." And so the simple fact that she saw in me what I didn't even know I had in me. And I'm gonna tell you something, I cannot imagine my life without doing this, because
And look,
I
you love
I
you.
I absolutely well, but you know what I like? I actually like doing the research on the
Yeah.
clients that I'm actually going to interview. That to me, it's so I can make sure that I'm asking them the right questions that will engage them and get the audience the information and the knowledge that they need from that particular guest.
And we know that podcasting is the next way of education because people learn by listening and some people learn by visuals. It's the next wave of networking because you get to meet people. You put people together. I love the fact that I'm doing my first international podcast at the end of this month from
See, this
some.
is what I'm talking about. See,
I don't have to get on the plane. He's in West Africa. I'm here and we're doing a podcast show. Networking, it allows you that. Scalability, it allows you that. Leverage, it allows you that. Podcasting is your book. You books are good, but it's even more better when you walk into a room and you say, "Well, I would love for you to be a guest on my podcast shows." And people are like, "Podcast show, yes, sign me up." Instead of giving someone your book, you want to go to Amazon and buy my book? But if you say, "Hey, I would love for you to be a guest on my show," it's like, wow. It's just like, welcome to the digital age. It's going to stay on forever as long as you heighten, as long as you're active, it's going to stay on. And then now let's get to the next one is how do you make money and how do you monetize it? I guess you have to take my course from that. You have to call me and schedule a one-on-one consultation. I can tell you how to do that. No, just plain. So you'll get to a level of how you can monetize podcasts. There's various different ways on how you monetize the people. I was like, how do you make money? How do you make money? A couple of ways of how you make money is advertising. Once the algorithms have seen that you're consistently podcasting, not only just the number of followers like YouTube, there's something totally different. Everybody wants to get to YouTube. That's great. But for us little guys that's trying to get there, there's another thing. They have advertisements. So when you are choosing your platform that you want to start with, me and Kelly, we're on Speaker. There's Podbean. There's several different ones that you can start with. They have advertisement and advertisers will say, "Hey, can we actually infuse so many advertising ads in your podcast and we'll pay you?" So that's one way that you can do that. You have another way where you have affiliate marketers so that you actually network with other people that will also put your podcast on their platform and your podcast on their platform, and you guys merge together. You might be doing podcasts where you are selling programs and services together. And so then therefore you have affiliate links. Those are ways that you can make money. So there's multiple ways of how you could begin to make and monetize money from your podcast show. And then the other way is your own books and programs that you're creating, and you share that at the end of every podcast. How you could get in contact with me, you would say what that is. And then people listen to your podcast and you drop the nuggets and they're like, "Wow, I like what she said here. I really like to get in contact with Kelly. I really want to give her a call." And so that's another way on how you can monetize it. So I just gave you a few ways on how you can do that.
See, this is what I'm talking about, just the knowledge. And she's so free with giving the information. So I just highly recommend Kim as a business coach, health and wellness coach. There's so many ways she can help you. If you're struggling with weight problems or, health issues, check her out. If you're struggling with beauty, you want to look better, check her out. You see what's behind her right now. And I'm going to tell you something. She's a phenomenal makeup artist.
You know what, Kelly? It's really funny you just mentioned it. And thank you, by the way. I do have a flawless makeup class actually on my website. And so I have my own digital e-courses that I put together. One of them is a makeup one, because a lot of women was like, "Oh, I want to learn how to do makeup." So I have another one that's coming camera ready for podcasters. And so that actually gives you tips, simple tips on how to actually just have your skin camera ready anytime you're doing instant on IG, Facebook, or you're doing podcasts. I believe that your image is very, very important. And it does take just some basic things that you could use, men and women, but in particular women, that you can always have your best face face forward.
Absolutely. And you guys, you know that I am a personal stylist. I am an image consultant.
Yes,
And so
yes.
I've had Kim come to my classes where I teach at City College in the fashion department for years, talking to my students not only about skincare, makeup, healthy eating.
Right.
Then she turned on, this business thing where now she's teaching them how to brand and market themselves in their businesses. So the truth is, she's multi-talented. She has a lot of things going on. She also has her own makeup and skincare line. I actually sell, what do you call it? Color Me Beautiful. I used to be with Beauty Control, but now I'm with Color Me Beautiful. So
Right.
makeup and skincare is important. One of the things that I know about African American women, I'll hear them say, "My husband don't like me in makeup." I said, "Well, when you met him, did you have on makeup?" And they go, "Uh-huh." I said, "Mm-hmm. Figure that one out." And then the other thing, or they'll go, I want to look natural. And what people don't understand, makeup does
Makeup
not make you
natural.
a natural. It only enhances what you have. And I think because the word is makeup, I think it makes them think that it makes them different instead of it only enhances what they have. So, don't be afraid to put a little makeup on.
Absolutely. One of my biggest fortes is natural makeup. Is thousands of brides that I've done in my career, and actually still doing bridal makeup, as a matter of fact. But Kelly, I just wanted to leave you with a couple of ways of how people can get in contact and work with me. I'm going to leave you the Calendly link. So if someone wants to reach out and have a complimentary strategy call, you can do so. And I also have some paid calls on there as well. And then I have a coaching program that I offer. But I would just say, just start there. Let's pick up the phone. Let's just have a complimentary conversation and move forward and allow me to see how I can assist you in meeting your online business goals for 2022.
Thank you so much. And the other thing that once the podcast is published, all of your links will be
Okay.
accessible to them, so they'll be able to get it. So again, audience, I would like to thank my guest, Kim Evans, for sharing her wonderful knowledge and inspiration to me and being a phenomenal success business coach to me. So grateful, very, very grateful for that. And I look forward to seeing what unfolds for us this year.
Oh my God, I'm looking forward to it too.
So again, I would like to thank you for listening to Straight Talking with Kelly, where real conversations happen. And I'll see you soon.
Good day. Thank you. God bless.